Hey guys, welcome back. So got another What's New at the Drugstore video for y'all today. So this one is going to be on LA Girl products. So one of you guys asked for me to do this video, so I've got it for you today. I really haven't tried a lot of their products over the years that I can think of, so this was exciting to get to try out some of their goodies. So I placed an order on their website. I've got new goodies here to share with you. I'm going to run through the different products, just do a What's New at the Drugstore type video, show you some swatches, let you know my thoughts, and yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so first off, they have a foundation, the Pro Matte HD High Definition Long Wear Matte Foundation. So I got the shade GLM 716 Nude. This is what I have on my face today. So thoughts on this foundation. First off, it has a nice weighty feeling packaging to it. It does feel like glass to me from what I can tell. There is a pump applicator on it. Color-wise, I think this is a pretty good match for me. It starts out looking like it's going to be a little bit dark, but once I get it all over my face, I think it works pretty well. So this foundation, I've tried it multiple times. This is definitely a matte foundation. So you have to like a matte foundation to appreciate this foundation. What I have found with it is if I pair it with a hydrating primer and also hydrating powders, I really, really like it. But if I don't, it's too matte for me personally and what I'm looking for in a foundation. But if you love a matte foundation, you'll probably love it regardless of what you pair it with. But it is super duper matte. So that's why I like to pair it with something that's a little bit more hydrating. Even today I used an LA Girl matte powder, and I think my skin just looks a little bit uneven because it looks a little bit dry. After this clip, I'll probably go ahead and apply some different powder like my Laura Geller powder just to kind of even everything. But if I pair it with nice powders that are very hydrating, I really, really like it. It's very long wearing. I don't find that I get super oily with it because it's a matte foundation. It's controlling the oil throughout the day. But again, I've said it 17 times. It depends on what kind of matte level you're looking for. If you're looking for super duper matte, I think you could pair it with matte powders. But if you're like me and you're looking for a little bit more satin, skin-like sort of a finish, I would pair it with hydrating primers and hydrating powders. Forgot to mention that coverage-wise, I would say that it is more medium, buildable up to medium to full. So not crazy full coverage, but definitely buildable, moving towards that direction. But I would say medium to medium full. Then there's this guy. This is the Glitter Magic Shimmer Shifting Lip Color. This is it right here. This is the shade. What shade is this? Glitterati. Glitterati. So this is what I have on my lips right now. I have it paired with a lipstick under it and also a lip liner, but most of the color that you're seeing is this. So this is one of those shade shifting glitter sort of lip products. So it starts out kind of like a liquid lipstick, and then once it's dry, you press your lips together and then you can see this kind of glittery shimmer coming through. So this is kind of a mauvey, taupey sort of a shade, like a rosy mauvey taupe. And when you press your lips together, there is some kind of lavender shimmer that shows up. So I like these products okay. I think they're kind of fun and different, but I just don't find that I reach for them. And I'm not a huge liquid lipstick fan anyway. And this is kind of like, oh, I don't know. It's like you have to wait for it to kind of dry and then you press your lips together. And it's like something about that just makes me go, ooh, like dry lips or something. But it's really, it doesn't feel dry. It mainly just feels like nothing on my lips. So that's good. So as far as like a liquid lipstick kind of situation goes, I think this is a pretty comfortable one. It does take a while to set, but once it sets, it's really not very tacky unless I truly press my lips together, which I think is further activating that shimmer kind of a situation. So I don't know, like I wouldn't go out and buy more of these. I don't think it's a bad product. If you're looking for something like this and you think this is kind of fun, I think this delivers on what it's supposed to be doing. It's not a ton of shimmer, but a little bit of shimmer. So it's kind of something fun and different, but it's not something that I will reach for every day. Okay, and then they have these Shockwave Neon eyeliners and lip liners. So the eyeliners are over here and the lip liners are over here. I didn't swatch them in a way that makes any sense. I put the lip liners over here and then one random eyeliner, the yellow eyeliner. So I'm not really sure why I did that, but there it is. So You can see the swatches there. Let me run through the different colors with you. So the yellow is Screamin'. Yellow is Screamin'. The orange is Outrage. The orange is Outrage. The really pretty bright pink is Pop. That kind of pinky purple right there is Blaze. Blaze. So there are those. Over here into the eyeliners. So again, the yellow is an eyeliner. So now we're moving into more eyeliners. The green one is Gotcha. Gotcha. That's a cute name. The kind of really bright teal is Fresh. The beautiful bright blue is Electric. The purple is Vivid. And the black is called Blackout. So these are super duper creamy, all really nice and easy to apply, easy to blend. Really the only one that's a little bit, tiny bit patchy is the purple one. It's not horrible, it definitely evens out, but it is a little bit more patchy than the other ones. They are just a really nice creamy formula, and I feel like super unique colors. So if you are looking for bright, fun, neon liners, I think that these are great options. They're affordable, they're really nice and creamy, very pigmented, really pretty. And I forgot to mention longevity. I find them to be very long wearing. I mean, I am scrubbing with a makeup wipe, and I mean, they're lightening, but not a ton. It's really taking a lot of scrubbing. So when I've worn them, I found them to be very long wearing, and I mean, this is a testament right here. These are hard to get off. They're long wearing. This was really a surprise to me. This is the Glowin' Up Highlighting Jelly. So here's the packaging on it. So I got the shade Princess Glow. I do have this on my cheeks along with another highlighter I'm about to mention to you. So there it is. So this is one of those jelly type highlighters, which, you know, is something that like doesn't immediately draw me in just because I'm just more of a powder highlighter type of gal, but I wanted to try it. So it is a thinner kind of a jelly. So if I lean it, it kind of starts to pool and move. So it's not the thickest jelly sort of a texture to it, but it is a really interesting, beautiful highlighter color. Let me find some place that my skin is not all irritated from removing swatches. This is a gorgeous shimmery, it's really micro shimmer suspended in the jelly. And it's a pinky, it's a mix of a pink, peach, gold type of shimmer. So there it is. But then it catches the light and has a little bit of almost a bluish duochrome shift to it. It's very, very pretty. I like it a lot, actually. I found it easy to apply, easy to blend. I just kind of tapped it on with my finger. So it's kind of a surprise favorite for me because I sometimes like a little bit of shimmer in my highlighter. If you don't like a shimmery highlighter, this is definitely not for you. But if you like a shimmery highlighter, I think that this is just kind of like a fun surprise way to apply it because it kind of holds that shimmer in place and kind of gives it something to adhere to itself, but also to your face. So I'm really surprised with this. I think it's a beautiful color. I think it's fun and shimmery and actually not difficult to apply and blend. So I'm surprised. I really like it. Then they have some palettes. So I got one eyeshadow palette, a blush palette, and then a highlighter palette. So let's just start with the highlighter palette. Let me find the box for it. So this is the Moonlight Magic Highlighting Palette. Here is the outside box, really pretty packaging to it. And then the actual palette itself is nice and sturdy packaging, so it feels really nice and well made, looks nice and sleek. So at first when I saw this, I didn't think it looked super exciting. And also I feel like a swatch doesn't fully tell the story with this because in a swatch, it's pretty, but it's not like game changing and crazy exciting. And the swatches just don't look super impressive. Let me show you. So there are the swatches. They really just don't look, my hand's all scratched up. It just really doesn't look super exciting at all. But on the face, like I said, I do have it layered, but it's really pretty. I did a combination of the lightest and this kind of more cool toned shade there. And I mean, it's very light catching, really, really pretty. So I would not say that the swatch situation tells the whole story because it's really, really pretty on the face. I don't think it's super exciting and different, so I don't think it's necessarily a must-have unless you don't have a lot of highlighters and you're looking for some great variety. In a highlighter palette, you do get some nice variances of color that you've got light, you've got gold, you've got kind of more cool toned rose gold-ish. I don't know, something about this looks cool toned on the face. Here it looks more rose gold, and then you've also got the kind of coppery bronzy shades, so a lot of variety in one palette, and it really does perform well. So I don't necessarily think it's a must-have unless you're looking for a highlighter palette with some good variety in it. And this blush palette is the Blushed Babe blush palette. So let me get the box for you. So here is the box on it. Very pretty on that too. I like the whole kind of branding on this line. I think it's really pretty looking. Catches the light, again, nice and sleek and weighty feeling. So I love the combination of colors that they put in here. They put a really nice mauvey pink shade, a really pretty warm toned pink shade, kind of a neutral warm toned pink, a nice coral, and then a great color for contouring or using as an eyeshadow, just kind of a brown sort of a color. All matte, except for this one that's a little bit of a satiny sheen to it. These are very nice. The formula is really blendable. They are very pigmented though, so that's one thing about it. Well, I think this coral looks a little bit satiny, but maybe not. I think it's more satin than the other ones. It's in between a matte and a satin. Has a tiny bit of a sheen to it, but it's more on the matte side than the satin. But what I was gonna say is these are very, very pigmented. So they are the situation that when you put them on your face, there's a lot of pigmentation that you then have to blend out. So I would just say use very, very little product because a little bit goes a long way with it, but they are very blendable, not difficult to work with. Really, really nice kind of silky, I don't want to say creamy sort of a formula, but a really nice silky, buttery sort of a formula to them that's just really easy to work with. So I'm very impressed with this blush palette. I really, really like it. Okay, and then lastly, the palette that I got, the eyeshadow palette, this is the Get Feverish eyeshadow palette. Here is the packaging. Again, same packaging. There were several different palettes. I picked this one. It's kind of the more burned, rusty, warm tone sort of a color story in here. So all of the colors in here, except for this one, are kind of on the deeper side. So they're sort of mid-tone burgundy mauves down into kind of rusty browns. There's really not a super, super dark color in here though. This one is the darkest. So really, I would say the only feedback that I would give and kind of wish were different with this color selection in here is I wish there were a little bit more variety. There's a lot of kind of colors in the same sort of mid-tone family. I would love if there were a couple more, like maybe one or two more really light colors and then maybe one really dark chocolatey brown in here. So that's maybe a little bit of feedback. But overall, a really pretty color story to this palette, mattes and shimmers in here. You do get a mirror in all three of these palettes. So here are the swatches. Very, very pretty. The texture on these shadows is very nice. The mattes are blendable. They are that kind of situation like the blushes that they are pigmented right off. So it's pigmentation and then you blend it. So a little bit goes a long way with them, but it's not difficult to work with or blend. You just don't need quite as much product because they are so pigmented. The metallics aren't the most metallic shadows I've ever seen, but they are very pretty and they are kicked up with a setting spray for sure. But they have great pigmentation there too. But like I said, I have seen more shimmery and intense metallic shadows from other brands, but these are still very pretty and just a really great, easy to work with sort of a formula. So I'm very impressed with it. All three of these palettes, especially the blush palette and the eyeshadow palette, are a softer sort of a formula, so they do kick up some product in the pan and a little bit of fallout on the face. I noticed a little bit of fallout with the shadows, mainly because I was getting too much product on my brush. So like I said, use a little bit. But the blush palette does get a little bit dirty looking, like a little bit dusty looking in the pan. My Rude camera cut me off, but I didn't notice any kind of a problem working with the blush palette on the face. But that's just a little bit of extra info there, is that they do seem like a softer sort of a formula. All right, guys, so those are all the new LA Girl goodies that I have to share with you today. So I hope that you really enjoyed this video, and I hope it was helpful for you. Please do a thumbs up if it was, and let me know down below if you've tried any of these products. What do you think about them? I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on them. Ask me any questions that you have. I'm happy to answer those. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!